So I want to run through that one more time because I know that sometimes things get a little fast and it's hard to follow. So we are going to break it down into the simplest terms. We have all of our subtools set to their highest subdivision level. This is the subdivision level that has all the details sculpted on it, and it'll be something like 3 or 5 or whatever you guys needed to get the detail that you were happy with, okay? First things first, we open up our plugin menu, Z plugin, drag it off to the side. Hide that. The Z plugin we're looking for is called Decimation Master. Now, before we can decimate this, and when I say decimate, I want you to think of reduction. Before we can reduce the poly count or decimate, we need to do what's called pre-process. So we're going to pre-process the current object right here. It'll sit and think. It's a fairly fast thinking process. And now imagine that the computer is holding all of the detail, all of the shape, like in its memory, and we're going to tell it to decimate the current tool. So I'm going to press Shift S here and move it over, and we're going to decimate the current tool. So it'll think a little bit more, and it completes. You'll see that the object changes color, and the poly count now looks different, or the poly flow looks different. We've taken a quad mesh and we've converted it into a massive triangles that still has all the detail retained on it. For this specific piece, the blade itself, I'm going to do another example, or just press Shift S and move it over one more time so you can see the progression. Now we're going to decimate it again because we just went from 1.2 million to here on the second one, this is about 480,000. Now we're going to pre-process this one. It's going to think, and then we're going to decimate the 480,000. Now we're looking at an asset that has something more like 96,000 polygons. We can take this further and further, just for point of example, pre-process this, decimate current, pre-process this, decimate current, until we get to the point where things are starting to look very geometric and it's not really keeping all the detail. We don't want it to be so polygonal like this. We want it to look more like our object over here. Now, we could try and use this as a traditional low poly, but there's a lot of issues that come along with that. And for the purposes of this class, let's just use something more like this. We can get by with 96,000. I'd say your aim is to have your object be under 100,000 for the blade. And one more time, if we pre-process this and decimate, you'll see that now we've lost all of the detail entirely. So we got our sculpted mesh. We decimated once. This was more like 480,000. Decimated another time. 98,000. This one probably be like 30,000. Find one that is looking like one of these and use that for your object. Let's just take a look at this. So I'm going to clear our progression there. When we add this, you can see that we do have a little bit of faceting. Let's see if we can put it on our, you'll see that the object is fairly faceted, but that would probably work in our favor. We could get by with that because once we, run smooth polygons on it or whatever, it'll look pretty good. Or we could just go with one higher and texture that. It's up to you how you want to present it. If your computer is struggling with an object like this, then go ahead and give it another decimation and see how that works. But you can choose to do it either one piece at a time and kind of a case by case basis. When I say one piece, I mean we decimate the straps one subtool at a time. Decimate this one subtool at a time. Decimate that. This is about ready to be decimated. Reprocess current. Decimate current. This object is really throwing me for a loop. It's not decimating quite nicely, so I think I'm probably going to just leave it undecimated. So I will probably just use like subdivision level 3 or maybe 4 and just texture that object, and that'll be fine. That'll be totally fine. But this is my thinking, guys. Decimate all your objects. The blade is the main one we're worried about, but the straps and the hilt and stuff, you can go like this is perfect. Do this, preprocess current, decimate current. As long as the silhouette is not changing, you're going to be very well off. Try to minimize the faceting. If you can go a little bit higher, do that. If you need to go lower when you bring it into Substance Painter, decimate it one extra time. But that is the workflow. Okay. I'll see you in the next video where we talk about what to do with these decimated models. Okay. All right, guys. Good luck.